Hello everybody, my name is Hamida Aruwa and with me here is
Abdulsalam.
And we are the poetry editors for ILUMSA Editorial Committee. Today we'll be talking about poetry. We'll be discussing poetry, our journeys and how it has been. Okay, Abdulsalam, how did it all start? How did your journey start?
Okay. So for me, I started out writing poems, but like from a very early age. I was writing more of like poems and rhymes. But you know, the more I think you tend to, as writers generally, you tend to write, or you tend to want to write what you consume as well. So as I was reading more of stories and novels, I was leaning more towards that. So for a period of time, I was just trying to write stories, trying to write the next Harry Potter, and things like that. But somebody gave me an advice one time that for your prose to be very good, you need to sharpen up your poetry. Okay, so it helps you to tell the story better. So I went back into poetry trying to better my prose. Exactly, and then I fell in love with poetry doing that. So since then I've been writing more poems. Though I still have this sneaky feeling that I'll go back to writing prose eventually.
And then eventually go back
to poetry. Who knows? So yes, and in terms of like putting out works, well, I've been lucky. I've been getting some publications. I've been putting some works out for some magazines, and we've got some publications. I've gotten a lot of rejection too, as well. So, but so far so good. The journey has been fine. So how about you?
For me, I started writing early. Growing up, my dad had a library. He still does, and being curious, I would go there and read the books, go through his own publications too. So that was where I started writing. I wanted to also know what it felt to write, to have something down. I did more of writing short stories at the beginning because I didn't start with poetry, so I did more of writing short stories. Poetry started about like 5 years ago, and I was just trying to express myself using my own words. It wasn't easy putting my works out for publications because even posting them on my status, it was a difficult thing to do. So when I started,
sorry to interject, was it like a case of you're not sure of what you were writing, or like you're just feeling like you don't?
Yes, I can't really say, but it was, I had that fear of, okay, what if people don't get what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
How will people see my works? You get? So it just took some self-will. So okay, let me even put them out. Whoever would connect will connect. Whoever wouldn't. So yeah, that was how I started. It's still not too easy, but it's much better now. And then my poetry now, compared to before, definitely has improved. It wasn't like how it was in the beginning, and I've received many rejection mails, but I've received acceptances too, and they've been good.
Okay. So who are your favorite poets to read?
I have quite a number, but to mention a few, I like Damsha's poems. I feel there's like a connection between the way I write and the way she writes. She doesn't use ambiguous words. She doesn't use big words, and she just keeps it simple and really nice. When you're keeping it simple and you still your work still carries that weight. And then I read Mary Oliver's poems too, and then in the Nigerian scene I enjoy reading Adeiza's works. Among others, there are a number of other poets too. Well, those are the few.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, for me, my favorite poet is Kabe Akbar. Like, his works were the first works that I read, and I was like, okay, this is how I want to write, what I want to write. Okay, like this is the way I want to express what I want to express. Because sometimes, poetry is like you have to find the right words at the right time. Like it's not just pouring out everything. There's an art to it. Okay, there's an art to putting out words in such a way that they convey the message you're trying to.
Like in 2 steps.
Exactly.
The first step you can
pour out, and then you have to then
go back
and convey it in a way that it relates.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kabe Akbar, he said a quote that how did he say it now? He said, I have already wasted the words that I have. Something, I think I'm paraphrasing, but like it was, I've already wasted the words that I have. So in that way, like words are precious, they are limited. So every word that he puts in a poem has to be meaningful. For me, that's the way I look at it. It has to be meaningful, has to be right. So Kabe Akbar, in the Nigerian scene, I like Adeiza as well. I really enjoy the work he's even doing in poetry generally now. He's doing a lot. Yeah, he's doing a lot. He's really putting Nigerian poems out there and pushing Nigerian poets as well. I like Pamela Jacobs as well. I like Jeremiah Abaki. There are a lot of very good Nigerian poets out there now that I enjoy reading their works as well.
I think we've had people talk to us about poetry, those times when we want to give up, and then we just reach out and someone give us,
that advice that keeps you going.
So what has been the best advice you received?
Okay. For me, there was a poetry summit, I call it summit, that I attended once online. And someone said something that really helped me at that particular point in time, because what he said was that stop trying to write something new. Okay, you want to write about the sun, people are written about the sun. You want to write about the stars, people are written about the stars. You want to write about the wind, people are written about the wind. So because sometimes at that particular point in time I was like, okay, I want to write something different from what everyone else is writing. It's like you are wasting your time. What you should do is go ahead and write that thing you want to write. The fact that it's being written by you, right? The fact that it's being written by you makes it different. The way you write it is different from the way anybody else will write it. Your experience, your life experience, if you infuse it into your poems, nobody else is going to have that same poem. But if you are saying, okay, you're not going to write unless you find something new, you will just be waiting. So that was an advice that I was like, okay, people have done almost everything, but you too, you have to, it's like contributing to the body of work. There are generations of poets, right? So you have to also put in your work as well. So what advice would you give anyone that is just coming into poetry for the first time, or college poets generally? What advice do you have for them?
Well, I would give advice based on my own experiences. Starting poetry wasn't too easy, because it's one thing to express yourself, like the way you feel. It's another thing to know how to put it, so to say, because poetry is in 2 steps. The first is about pouring out everything, word for word, how you are feeling it, and then the second step is you coming back to it to give it those touches. Because if you notice, when you write something, when you leave it and come back to it, you'd find something to change. You definitely find something to change. So that's what the second step is basically about. And also writing is not something that you want to do alone. It's not a path that you want to course alone. There will always be people you can reach out to. If you are writing poetry, you can write, and if there's somebody you know that you can show to review it, that's actually good. You can take courses. I took some courses, and I can say that those courses helped me in writing my poem, helped me improve my writing skills, and then reading poems too from other poets, by other poets, also helps. Reading novels too, because I mean, like you said, prose and poetry, they go hand in hand. Yeah, so that's my advice, or those are my advices. We called out for submissions, ILUMSA Editorial Committee, for poetry submissions, and we received a pool of submissions. So what would you say the experience?
Okay.
How would you describe the experience of editing ILUMSite's poems?
Okay, I think first of all I have to credit everyone that submitted. In fact, we received a lot of submissions and we received a lot of quality. In fact, every work that was submitted had so much quality to it, and the experience was okay. So yes, the experience was interesting and new for me, because I was able to see, I saw different styles of poems, different ideas, different themes that people touched on, and also the experience was enlightening as well, right? We were able to, I learned a lot. When you're editing someone's when you're editing a poem, it's very different from when you're writing a poem. Okay, and especially poetry, you have to take care of the person's words, kind of. You don't want to just, okay, this is wrong, okay, I remove, or this is not, I think this one does not flow. Yes, you have to preserve the person's tone and the message of the poem as well. So I found it very interesting, and I hope more Ilumsites, get into poetry. I know there are a lot of, what I call them, closet poetry. You see, poets rather. You have some people that are, they're just nervous. They don't want to put their works out there yet. So I encourage any Ilumsite that's, even if you're just starting for the first time, start. You can only get better. Yeah. So for you, what was your experience, and how do you assess the talent pool?
Ilumsites have talent. That's the first thing I'll say, because the submissions, we had people talking about things that affect them personally, med school, life, and it's not easy to put out your works. That's something that many people struggle with. I struggle with it too. It's not very easy, because you'll be thinking, what people say, and then how would they read my message? But I want to encourage every Ilumsite that it could be difficult, but people need to see your work. You wouldn't know who would be able to relate, and then you just see somebody sending you a message that this poem of yours, I really liked it, it resonated with me, so people won't see or know of you if they don't see your work. I learned a lot during the course of the editing process, and I want to encourage Ilumsites to come out, put their works out. Even if you're starting, there are people you can reach out to. You can reach out to myself, you can reach out to Abdulsalam, you can reach out to other poets. Help me review this poem. What do you think about it? How can it get better? You can read books, you can listen to spoken word performances, and it's literally boundless. There's no limits. You can learn every day, and you can only get better. So I encourage Ilumsites to come out, embrace their.
Okay, so in conclusion, we have come to the end of this discussion. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you guys tune in to the Ilumsa poetry space. We have some plans, and we hope to be able to cultivate a very vibrant poetry community in college. So
this was really fun. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see the next time we call for submissions. We hope to see more people submit.
All right.
Thank you.
So, everyone, bye.
Bye.